Hey, how's it going? This is the first session of hiking fitness. We're going to be doing a 10-mile hike. Where I live in the Southwest, so we're going to be doing some high desert canyon hiking. Wherever you are, this is a challenge to do a 10-mile hike. So we're going to be doing our distance with a GPS, hiker GPS. This is a Garmin eTrex 20. So we'll let that load up. I'll give you a quick review of what I'm bringing for gear. Bringing a hiking pole. If you see some of my other videos, I carved these. This is an alderwood. You can cut it green here in the mountains. So this is my hiking pole. Bringing a knife. Bringing a set of binos. Drinking up on some coffee here. And I have a mason jar with wild brew tea. This is willow. And I'm bringing a water bottle too. And that's basically all I'm bringing. I'm bringing an extra layer. And that's it. I also have my dogs here with me. Gypsy! Good job, Gyp. This is going to be an off-trail hike for me. You can do the challenge any way you want it, 10 miles. But I'm going to do it off-trail. My GPS is already calibrated. It's just lunchtime here, or just past lunchtime. I'm at 63:69. Sunset is at 5:33. So I have around 5 hours of solid hiking. So you figure 2 miles an hour makes a good pace. All right, so some quick GPS 101. So I have when your GPS is working and calibrated with satellites, when you have the elevation, when it's like 4 little dashes here, it means it's searching for satellites. So you can tell it's calibrated. And I go back now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Track Manager, Current Track, and then I'm going to clear Current Track. I'm going to go do that again just to double check it, clear current track. And now when I press current track and I go to view map, it's tracking my hike. So you see it's distance 0 and it's showing me where I am. And that's basically all I use this GPS for. There's other things in here you can do, but that's all I use it for. The compass. Gee, Chips, you ready to go hiking? You ready to go hiking, Chips? Come here, Chip. Gee, come here. Come here, bud. Chip. All right, I'm about half mile in, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double check my gear. Make sure nothing is open. Make sure all my stuff is in there. Check my GPS. I'm going to close everything up. Good idea to always check your backpack. You don't want any of these pockets kind of flying open and some of your expensive gear to fall out, like knives or like this GPS alone is I think $200. So just double check all my stuff. And I'm going fairly light. I drank 3 liters of water on the way up here, and as I was packing by the car, so I just have 1 water bottle. I have my hiking pole. So I'm going fairly light, and I'm starting on the flat section of the canyon, so I'm leaving the climb out for the end. But the climb out, I'm going to catch a road, I think, on the other side. I know there's roads back there, like BLM roads. So I like to start off, with the brush, with the off-trail hiking first. Because at night, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing an hour hiking at night or something like that. It would not be fun. It would be disorienting. It's almost like that, like a hedge maze in here with all these trees. So I'm going to leave the back section of the hike on the road. And I'm going to do the first part, which is the hard part, out here off trail. All right. So you can see the terrain kind of changing here. We're going to the open section of the canyon. And usually when there's an open section of the canyon, there's a draw, which means there's like a seasonal creek or something like that. So you can see it's starting to open here. So it'll make like this V here, and all the snow that's on the sides will funnel in and make a little creek. And that's called a transition zone. And in that transition zone, there's different sets of trees, different sets of vegetation, all that kind of stuff. So up here, it's kind of, homogeneous. It's pinyon pine, it's juniper, it's Mormon tea, and sagebrush. And in that little section where there's water, more consistently, things like cottonwoods will sprout up, and different pines or alderwood. Gypsy! Come here, Gigi. That's my Gigi. Come here, bud. Good job, Gigi. Alright. So we're coming up on the canyon edge here. Cliff edge. So you have to think, like, how are you going to descend this section? You can see it's all pretty cliffy over there. Definitely like 20-foot drops, 10-foot drops, 15-foot drops. Here you can tell also a bunch of big drops. So I want to avoid that. I don't want to, I'm out here by myself, so I don't want to start jumping, anything more than like 3 or 5 feet. I want to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk the edge here and then find a spot where I could descend. And once I descend, I'm going to be in that draw right there. And in that draw, I'm going to go that way. Do a kind of like a counterclockwise loop. And I know there's a BLM road that connects back there where it'll kind of circle me around to my truck. But you can tell there's clouds here today. I live in monsoon country, but it's January, so there's no risk of monsoon. But there is things like snow thunder, and you can tell there's big mountains back there, so the storm clouds come off the mountain. You can tell it looks like a dead juniper, but it's not right here. You can tell it's still alive, even though it's mostly dead. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to traverse this canyon on the edge here and find a way to get down. So I'm practically getting on the other side of this canyon traverse, and I'm not even going near these cliff edges. I'm just staying inside because I know how steep it is here. And let me show you just how steep it is here. Definitely getting a little anxious coming up to this edge here. This is around 100-foot drop. So the Native Americans, they would make cliff houses along these cliff edges here, but you can tell it's just too steep to get up here, so there's definitely no cliff houses here. But in general, you can find cliff houses kind of scattered all throughout this canyon along the walls. Alright, I finally found the section where I could descend, literally on the other side of this canyon, but you can tell just where I feel comfortable coming down, and that'll get me down there, and I could go further in. Dude, this is a natural shelter right here. These are somewhat rare because it goes really far in, probably 10, 15 feet in, and it's almost like beach sand right here. Pretty cool. What do you think, Jeps? What's in there? So this would definitely be a good place to shelter in if I got stuck out here. And I can tell you, there was no storms on the forecast today, but there's a massive cloud coming down the valley. So hopefully I won't get caught out with a storm. But anyway, I'm doing the hard part now of the exploring and off trailing. And when I connect to the road all the way down there, if that storm cloud blocks me in, I could kind of, hurry up the mountain, up the road. If I was doing the other way, going down the road and coming back out, I would have a harder time because the storm would catch me out, in a hard part of the canyon. So that's the update. All right, so I've come down the canyon to draw, and I'm catching this BLM road here on the far side of the mountain. You can tell it's not very well used. Definitely hasn't been used in probably 2 months, I would say, because if it was, there's a lot of mud here, so you would see tracks, ruts. But that's what I came down. And I'm getting some cloud cover, which is weird because my radar, my phone app said sunny. But again, I'm not that worried because it's cold, so no risk of monsoon. And if I did hear something like thunder or see lightning, I would definitely book it back to the truck because that's something you don't want to play around with here, is lightning and thunder. You can tell it's definitely ominous. It's dark. Check this out. This is abandoned rancher fence. It's real old. It's kind of beat up. Rancher fence also, on a safety note, is the number one cause of hunting accidents. So a lot of times you'll be, hunting, off-trail hiking, and you have to cross this thing. And people put their rifle on the side or wherever, and it gets messy. They fall, the rifle falls, they drop the rifle, they fall on the rifle, and a shot goes off. So, yeah, I use my hiking stick for this thing too. Like, push it down, pull it up for my dogs. But just be real safe when you cross this, because even like a good stab in your thigh will be bad. You can tell it's all rusty. Alright, so I've come down from up there into here, and Gypsy, hi Gigi. And I'm traversing into that high point of the canyon so I could kind of scope out what's going on the other side. Like, I know there's private property on the other far side of that ridge or road, probably 15 miles away, maybe 20 miles. But here, it's definitely pretty wild. And this is a good place. That's more creek draw right there, where I could find things like antlers, like a cool rusty can, some kind of cool artifact. This is the area where I would find it, because this area is definitely remote. So whatever's in this canyon has been here for a while. Yeah, more storm clouds though. I'm a little worried about the storm clouds. I think worst case scenario would be it would get cold really fast here. It's 39 degrees. If that storm would block me in, the wind would come in, and I'd probably lose 20 degrees. So it'd go from like 39 to 19, somewhere in the teens for temperature, and that would suck. So I have a hat, I have a buff, I have a sweatshirt, but it would still not be fun. But anyway, so I'm just hiking out here, exploring. It's getting kind of monotonous, like when you start hiking here, it's definitely, everything looks real similar. But the trick is to, find cool stuff, find a cool photo. That's what I'm trying to do. Some big boulders over there. This is all from that creek draw. Dude, so check this out. This is a really, really rare find here. This is a pottery shard. Look how cool that is, y'all. That is cool. This has been here for 900 years, something like that. The Native Americans that were here, they go from basket maker period to this period where they're storing food and making pottery. But look, from far away, it looks almost like kind of like some kind of debris. And that's the thing with pottery here. It's you'll pick it up and it'll be like a clay pigeon or some kind of garbage. But this right here, look how huge that is, man. It's bigger than my hand. The law is you have to leave it where you find it. So you could pick it up, take a picture of it, and that's it. You have to leave it where you found it. So, but yeah, you can tell this is definitely a pottery shard. Look how cool that is. Or this would be a piece of pottery at this point. This was probably part of a kind of like a bowl. But yeah, this is really cool, man. Look at that. That's gnarly. This is really rare too. Like you'll find those little shards and medium shards, but like a massive piece of pottery like this, it's really rare. So, like I said, you figure this thing has been laying like this right here for 900 years. And I'm the first one to find it. Yeah, check that out, man. And this was found next to that creek draw. So they were probably camping here. They had water. They were setting up shop here, collecting wild edibles like maize, juniper berries, cottonwood berries, that kind of stuff. And yeah, they had a big piece of pottery, man. I could probably turn this into the museum and they would take it because I think this is really rare, this huge piece of pottery. But what I'll do is I'll just mark my GPS coordinates. I'll leave it where it is because that's the law. And I'll send them a picture if they want it. I'll come back and get it for them. But yeah, this is really cool, man. Look at that. It looks like, it kind of looks like garbage, but you can tell it's something, So you pick it up and... But yeah, I've never seen one this big. So really cool. Really special. Check this out. This is a mule deer skull. A doe looks like. But who knows, it could be a buck. It's been here for a while. Definitely cool looking. Old antler. Check that out. What is that? Baby coyote, maybe? Definitely sharp canines. Maybe a fox, baby fox, kid fox, maybe. All right, I'm starting to turn back around for the return back. You can see here, that's the dark side of the canyon right here. It's covered in snow. The light side of the canyon, which gets sun, has no snow. So if you have a choice, definitely pick the dry side because there's less mud, less slippery, less risk of falling. But yeah, this is perfect weather here for hiking in the Southwest. It's around 35 degrees right now. In the summertime, from around May to October, I would say, or late September, this canyon is over 90 every day, all day, with some monsoon sprinkled in, but mostly the sun reigns in the summer here. Not sure what that is. Two big front teeth. Maybe a bobcat? I don't know. Big eyes. Alright, I'm back on the road here. I followed that utility line up the canyon. And I'm back here on the road. It's about 4:14. So I have about an hour and a half of daylight. And now I'm going to get some miles in on this road. I think I have around 6 miles maybe in the canyon. Dropped it all the way from there, hiked all the way down there, came back. So now I'm going to be sticking with this road because if it gets dark, I can easily just follow the road. If it got dark, if I was all the way in that canyon, my fear, my anxiety would definitely be up being stuck in that canyon, because it's all up and down, it's all valley, canyon, valley, canyon, valley. So good to be back here on the road. Casey, come here. Hi, sweetheart. Come on, little Jill. You can tell this utility line here. Just, you know, a utility line is comforting when you're lost because you can follow it to civilization usually. And in the desert, at night, if there's civilization, light travels very far. So if you find light, you know, that's also a good sign. Utilities, you'll definitely find some light along the utilities. Check that out. It's a fresh one. Young buck. 2-pointer. A fresh piece of antler. It's not brittle. Nice and fresh. Check this out. This is a walk down here. I saw this from the ridge. I saw it last season actually too. But this is an old car wreck. It's been cut in half. The other half's over there. The motor's been pulled. A lot of iron. Pretty cool. I'm not sure what you can salvage of something like this. There's an old speaker. There's the steering wheel. It's cool, huh? So the law is antiquities, anything after 1979. So if this is like a before 79, it's called an antique. You can't take anything off it. So I'm not sure what year it is. But yeah, it's got a Plymouth badge on it. It's got chrome bumper. Chrome holding up very nicely. Over 40 years in the desert, in the sun. Still holding up. Yeah, there's some other piece of it over there. Anyway, the sun has set. But it'll still be bright here up until 6. 6 and some change. But this is a cool find. It's amazing how much iron and metal were on these old cars, man. Like, look at these quarter panels. Solid iron. Everything is just metal. Shock absorbers. Gas tank. The suspension has been ripped here. This is where the leaf spring was, I think. Here to here. It's been sheared off. You get the fuel line here. But yeah, cool. Definitely cool how the chrome, look how cool the chrome looks, man. That's cool. Alright, so it's definitely getting cold right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up. I have a sweater. I'm going to put that sweater on. I have a sweatshirt. I have a buff. Golden hour, sunset. Good to see the days getting longer in the winter. Alright, I'm out of the canyon. I'm on the road. That is Sirius, the star, according to my app. That over there, up there, is Jupiter. Is Juno still around Jupiter? I don't know. I know Cassini, they crashed into Saturn. But Jupiter is right there. Biggest planet in the solar system. You can tell I'm by the utility line now. So I'm on the road. And I checked my GPS. And I'm at around 8 miles. So I have another maybe mile and a half to my truck. And then if I'm under 10, I'm going to just leave my gear, water up, and I'm going to just hike the road and get 10 miles. Because this is a fitness challenge and we're getting 10 miles today, one way or the other. So it's not too muddy, it's nice and cold. We're going to get 10 miles either way. So we're at 8 right now. And we're going to walk to my truck, see where we're at. Back to the truck. It's dark. My battery is real low. Flash doesn't want to work. Or the battery's low, so it turns off the flash. So I think I'm over 10 miles. If not, I'll just slack hike around here to do a little loop. But I think I'm over. Feels like I'm over. 10.4 miles. You can see my track. You can see my waypoints. That's all done by accident because the Garmin doesn't have a lock feature. But anyway, 10.4 miles. So first hiking fitness challenge done. 10-mile hike. I did it off trail. You can see a lot of exploration, a lot of looping up, looping down. But it's cold, so I gotta start my truck and get out of here. 11-mile hike. We're gonna go out and back style, which is we're gonna pick a point, hike to it, and then come back sort of the same way. Basically out and back. Okay, here we are. It's a windy day. Leaving my lab with my truck. I'm just gonna chain her up here. Leave her a water bottle and a treat. And I'm gonna walk down that road over there. It's a cold one today. Okay. GPS. Compass 6670. Gonna clear my track. Zero. Good job, Jip. Wind has cooled down a little bit. Thankfully for that. It's winter here. but the desert juniper and pinon stay green. That's why they're called evergreens. They stay green throughout winter. I can almost guarantee you that there's cliff houses up there. This is the south east side, so it gets the most sun. So it'd be a good spot to make a cliff house. But what I'm focusing on right now is just to get mileage, and we'll explore that on the way back. All right, 2 miles in, just a little quick check-in. Say hi, Gypsy. Gypsy, come here, bud. Say hi, Gigi. Say hi to YouTube, sweetheart. That's my little Gigi. All right, so today I have a salt cedar hiking pole. It's light. It's long. It helps with fatigue. It helps with traversing. It's almost like another point of contact. I have my backpack. I have a handgun in here. 2 Nalgene bottles. A dog bowl. I'm not carrying binoculars today. I have 2 Nalgene bottles. GPS. I have a Taurus handgun. 9mm. And that's about it. Alright, trucking along here. This is what the roads look like. So the road on the sunny side is nice and dry, no mud. As you can see far over there, there's snow on the non-sun side. And on the sun side, no snow. So I'm gonna avoid the snow because the snow is most likely muddy. Well, that's the road. It's steep. It's kind of up and down. It's not just one straight drop. But that section over there, there is one big drop. Probably a mile and a half just descent. So I'll be coming back the same way, kind of up and down. So good mileage, good exercise, good training, good cardio. It's 35 degrees. I'm getting a little warmed up. Check it out. It's one of these old cattle guards. Definitely have your dogs not cross this. Sometimes they'll just go for it and they'll get caught in there. Become a big mess. So have your dogs go around. Gypsy! Come on, Jill. Gyps, go around. Go around. Good job, Gyp. Okay, we're on the other side of the ridge now. So this is kind of the point of no return. Once I drop down here, it'll bring me all the way down there to where it's all flat. And that road, I think it veers off into 2 roads over there, but I'm not sure. So this is the steepest descent of the hike. So it'll also be the steepest ascent coming back. So keep that in mind when you're, when you come down a steep section, you're kind of committed. And another point, if this was a road I was off-roading, dude, check this out. So I've been doing that out and back, and I've decided to kind of explore a little bit, veer off, see what's hidden inside the little ravines here. And look at this. This is down this ridge, off trail, massive little garbage pit, old fire pit with some garbage. Gyps, get out of there. Get out of the glass, Jishi. So, one thing you can tell is that it's old. You can tell by the bottles and the cans how old it is. Like we'll see this can right here. This is a squirt can, I think. Lemon lime. Old one though, you can tell by the tab. This is probably 80s, 70s. Still has its color. It looks like a Sprite can, right? It's green. I think squirt these days is yellow and red. But this one is green. Yeah, this one is rare. So you could age your find by a can a lot of times. Interesting enough, pop cans, beer cans, they have a lot of cool art on them. Canned goods, they don't, because they usually come just with a paper, and then the metal is not painted. But pop cans, beer cans, they have some art because they're, it's a status thing. Drink soda, drink beer. But yeah, this is cool. This is a old tobacco can. Not sure if it's a chew or the flower, but it's metal. United States Tobacco Company. Nice little timepiece. Yeah, this little area has a bunch of scattered pits everywhere. Old ones. This is a Pepsi can, obviously. Again, another old one, maybe 60s, 70s. This one a little earlier. Faded. Monochrome at this point. Pepsi. Amazing how the paint stays. 50 years in the desert, in the hot sun, in the cold winter. 50 years times 4 seasons. That's over 200 seasons just laying here. Pretty cool. Definitely one of my favorite parts of hiking is the exploration and the walk through time. Check this out. I can't tell what this is. Lemon lime soda? Maybe a Sprite? Before it was Sprite? But cool colors. Green, teal, green, all around. Sunburned on this side well preserved. Somebody was using it for maybe heating up water. I don't know, collecting wild edibles. Okay, I'm back to doing our out and back. I'm hugging the road here. You can tell the open area, that's where the road is. So I'm just hugging this section with the road and just going further in, continuing the out and back mentality. It is very fun to explore off trail, as always. I would definitely suggest you have a GPS if you do that though. This area has a lot of cliff, so I can't explore too much, so I'm enjoying the road when I can, and now I'm just gonna kind of parallel the road as I hike. Back on the road, getting the mileage back up. Alrighty, here we have the payoff. This is definitely the best view of this canyon. You can spot some trail down there. Get out of there. Out. Go. Out. And over there, there's some road. But this whole top section is inaccessible from down there in that road because it's too steep over here. Gypsy, come here, bud. That's my little Gigi. Say hi, Jip. Hiking along. This road is taking me away from that ridge and back into this valley. So I appreciate that because it's flat. This is kind of the middle section of the hike. And flat ground is always nice. I don't have to sweat too much. I don't have to exert myself too much. But I've been on this road now for Another 2 miles, I would say. And I could explore that section because it's flat. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to parallel this road by going off trail. That road is visible over there too. All right. I'm currently at 4.6. It's not too steep here, but lots of little valleys everywhere here. Okay, I'm off trailing, hiking near that road, running into that valley here. That road that I want to get to is up there on this little crest here. Nonetheless, I'm exploring here. Okay, I've decided I'm going to explore this canyon draw here. I'm going to come down here, and there's a bunch of slabs over there. I'm going to explore those, but I'm going to come down. I'm doing good on time, so this is a pretty decent place to come down. Not much snow on this side, not too slippery, so I'm going to slowly just come down this canyon. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to go up that way. Okay, I've come down that section. Now I'm here in this draw. You can tell there was definitely water here, or there is water seasonally here. Everything's kind of washed out, eroded. All that's left is rock. And you get that V pattern going into this ridge. So water means life. So any kind of animal critter, human critter, they're all in here for water, especially in the hot season. It's fairly dry here, but in the spring, melt, this thing could possibly flow. But it may flow maybe semi-annually. Who knows? There's no water in here now except snow. Nonetheless, I'm going to keep my eye out really good here for any kind of activity, past or present. Okay, inside the canyon draw, real pretty here. This is where it goes into one, and it goes from this one here and this here to this one draw here. So where these two waters meet, there'll be a lot of flow coming through here. I would guess it's probably flash flooding type water here. Nonetheless, the canyon is carved out really nicely. It's bare rock right there. Lots of bare rock over there. So the water has been here consistently. And I'm not much of a geologist, but I would guess that rounded stone means water flow. Yeah, real pretty. This is a den. I'm not sure if it's being used right now. Definitely a den though. It goes far in there. I would guess coyote, mountain lion. have stumbled upon a coyote den one season, and within like 25-30 yards away from it, the mom coyote lost her mind. She started barking, doing that snarl. So you'll get a warning, you know, if you stumble upon a den. But nonetheless, this would be a good den because this area also, since it's close to that draw, has a water supply, which you can see here. This is the only water I've seen all day. So it's a good sign that there's something around here. But I'm in the wilderness here, so there's no... I've come upon natural barrier. This will be a little waterfall during the season when it flows. My phone battery is draining really hard because I'm videoing a lot, but I have extra batteries. But I'm less than 20%, so I think I'm out of my spare battery. So I'm just gonna do a mileage check. 6.1. So we're 4.9 miles from 11, and I'm here. Check this out. This is a coyote. Been dead for a while. Petrified, but frozen. It smells real rank still. Like I said, that water draw will bring everything in here. Look at those teeth. Can you tell what that is? That is a cottonwood tree inside this draw. It's the only cottonwood I've seen, I think. At least mature one all day. Cottonwood during springtime. The cottonwood buds. I'm not sure what you do with them, but the cottonwood tree sprouts these real fuzzy buds. I've eaten them, and they're real tasty when they're in bud form. But this is a cottonwood tree. Whew. All right, I'm almost out. This right here, you see these spiny looking sticks? That's willow. This area, it's called sandbar willow, but nonetheless, that's willow. So willow as a tea is probably the best brew around here. Willow tea. It's got also, it's like a salicylic acid, the stuff they make aspirin with, ibuprofen or vitamin I. So this is definitely the best brew going here. Jips, what do you think? You're doing a good job, G. You're my little canyon hunter, G. Early February. And look at that. We have a little flower. It's early flower. Look at that. Little purple flower. Okay, made it out. It's a steep climb out from that little draw. If I got lost, if I ventured to there, just say my GPS died, I would know I would have a natural block there. There's a cliff. So I know if I would go too far there, I would just cliff out. So now I'm back on course and I'm heading back up towards that ridge. Back on the road. Sun is looking good. I have about 1, 2,
2 hours and some change of sunlight. The moon is out too. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the moon is here also. The sun and moon in the same picture. What is this thing? I think it fell off an airplane, maybe? It's long. Looks like an antenna. Antenna was broken off right here. Yeah, I think this fell off an airplane. That would be my guess. Way too off trail here for this to be some kind of like antenna for a off-roader or something like that. Cool. Space junk. Alrighty, I decided to take a detour and I've climbed up this ridge. I wanted to see this shelter here. It's a natural shelter. I don't think it's been used before, but good place to shelter for sure. This is a Cliff House. Old shotgun shell here. But this is definitely a Cliff House. There is some old stacked rocks up there, like a fire pit. And the inside here is charred from the fire pit that was here. It's a real nice one. It's a good one, good size one. In a monsoon, in a big storm, in a big winter storm, in a chill, this fire pit would radiate really well against these rocks, and it kind of traps the heat. I mean, it's perfectly insulated. You got about 100 yards of solid rock up top and inside here, so definitely insulation proof. So this would be a good spot to scourge around and look for some artifacts. It's getting late in the day, but this is definitely cool. Definitely a cool spot. No risk of anything falling off the rock and on top of your head. It's pretty solid looking. If there was a risk, there would be rocks that have fallen off the top here, kind of caved in. And a lot of structures are like that, but this one is not. So this is how it would look if you were in here. You have your little fire pit over here. Definitely much warmer, definitely quiet. You can hear how my voice travels in here. Much better than out there in the wind. The big thing I find personally when I'm camping or when I'm trying to get comfortable in the outdoors, and I've lived in a camper for 2 years. I've lived out of my 4Runner for a year and a half. And I've camped a lot of days. And my big thing is wind. You know, if it's real windy, if it's real blustery, kind of dealing with like a bully, throws your hat off. Can't eat a meal in peace. The wind kind of shears your face, makes your day difficult. So if you can break the wind in your survival shelter or your camping setup, that's always cool, because the wind is it's a menace. See how the trees are moving. In here it's nice and still. Okay, my phone is at 3%. Exactly 3.6 miles from where we started. The road is right over there. I'm gonna connect to that road and walk the last 3.6 miles, which works out good because I'm a little bit tired. My feet are tired. I have gear tie on my boots, so I don't have to tie my shoes all the time. But yeah, this will be the last video before I get to the car, because my phone's gonna die, even though I brought spare batteries. But there's nothing to see on that road. It's going to be kind of plain. So I'll just get some mileage in and head back to my Labrador and Yuffie. Okay, back here at camp. Newf was fine. She was hanging out, having a good time. Did you have a good picnic, sweetheart? Did you have a good picnic? Did you have a good picnic? Anyway, I checked my GPS and my GPS says I'm at 10.5 miles. So, Hiker Fitness Challenge, 11 miles. I'm going to do a little sunset hike. sunset officially. Right over Bear's ears too, exactly on it. Pretty cool. Okay, back here again at the truck. Let's see where we're at. 11.2. 11.2. So that's Hiker Fitness Challenge Part 2, Session 2. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. Like, share, complete the challenge. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. If you want to tag me on your social media, at Mountain Consumer. All I have is YouTube and Instagram. So if you want to tag me in your post when you finish this challenge, that'd be really cool. Otherwise, I'm gonna head home now. It's Sunday night. It's cold here. It's windy now. I'm gonna pack up all my dog stuff. You've had a good day. Did some camp security. Oh, big girl. Oh, big girl. Get those eye boogers out of there. Yeah. Better than her staying home. Yeah, her hip hurts when she does a lot of walking now. She's going on 12 now, so I've tried to take her out and push her when her, when her hips are acting up, but it's just not a good idea. She gets kind of panty, which shows that she's in pain. And, she's an older dog, so she loves being camp security. She likes hanging out, so I'm not going to push her too hard. She's a golden girl now. Right? Golden girl? She has a little golden carabiner here. How big girl? My little yellow lab. My big girl.